Hey guys, if you're shopping for knives and gear, make sure you check out the description of the video you're watching right now for links to some great online retailers. There's also individual links for knives that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review slash knife overview to share with you guys. This is the new CJRB cutlery, Maileah. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This knife was designed by Sharp and Pointy Swags. You can see Swags right there. You can check her out on Instagram, and I believe she also has a YouTube channel. I remember seeing some stuff about this knife on Instagram actually, and this knife is sporting the new AR RPM 9 steel, which is a proprietary steel through Artisan Cutlery and CJRB, since they're, you know, essentially the same company. That's a steel that is very, very welcome in the budget knife world. By the way, this is a budget folding knife. Really great stuff. This is essentially powder formed 9CR18 MOV. I think people are starting to get, you know, the information, you know, really positive information going around the knife community about this steel. So yeah, it's very, very welcome. This is cool. It's nice to see a design from, you know, somebody that's in our knife community here, you know, working with CJRB, and it's I didn't know what to think about it at first, you know, when I saw pictures of it, but getting it in hand, there's a lot of good here, so I want to go over that with everybody. Thanks so much to my generous patrons for supporting me right now. If you'd like to get your hands on some cool stickers and other benefits, there's of course a link right down in the description. You're supporting mean the world to me. And please follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's go ahead and get a measurement of this guy. Not a big knife at all. This is a very small knife. Overall length of the Maileah, God, I hope I'm getting that right. Overall length, just a hair over 5, maybe right on 5.5 inches. Blade length, well under 3 inches. The blade length is actually only about 2.4 inches overall. Cutting edge is coming in just shy of 2.25. Now, this is a small knife, but this solves a lot of legality problems for a lot of people. If you live in an area where you've got a 3-inch, you know, blade law, then yeah, you're going to be able to carry this. But it also has a lot of elements that people who regularly carry larger knives might appreciate. We're going to go over all of that. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons up against the Ontario Rat Model 1. The Rat 1 is coming in at 8.6 inches over. So you can see here, this is definitely not a big knife. Up against the Spyderco PM2. Spyderco PM2 is coming in at 8.3 inches overall. How about up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue? Ritter Hogue is coming in at 8 inches overall. How about up against the Para 3, Spyderco Para 3, coming in at 7.25 inches overall. And last but not least, the Benchmade Mini Griptilian, closest in size that I generally compare to. Mini Grip coming in at 6.75 inches overall. So you have less handle room than what's on the Mini Grip and less cutting edge, but you know, again, that's you know, that's something that's going to solve legality issues for a lot of people. How's the action of this guy? This knife is a combination front flipper and thumb stud deployer. There is plenty of room to get in behind that thumb stud, and it's very clicky. And so let me point this out. I got this weird thing with clicky detents. Ready? Oh, man, that is satisfying. On top of that, the front flipper is designed very well, and despite it being a small knife, it's not an exposed, you know, it's a liner lock, right? So it's not exposed. You don't have to worry about where you're putting your hands. Very easy to manipulate. It's very satisfying on a little teeny tiny knife, right, to have that fidget factor. And you also have different options for deployment. If you want to do the reverse flick, you can do it. You want to do the thumb flick, you can do it, right? You can also just sort of wheel it out, or you can, you know, some people will pinch open it with both fingers, but very easy, very, very easy to manipulate considering how small it is. So I appreciate that. My thing, you know, for anybody who doesn't know, I like a full-size knife because I like to get a full purchase on it. This knife, I'm getting 3. I'm getting a 3-finger purchase position. But, you know, while it's not my, like, this isn't necessarily a knife that I would carry all the time just because of my preferences with a full 4-finger grip, it is really impressive that you get not only a good, you know, there's a good ergonomic grip. I'm not saying I'm not secure on it at all. I am, considering it's 3-finger. But also just the level of fidget factor and the access to, you know, the thumb studs. A lot of times the issue with tiny knives is that you just can't get in there, or it's not comfortable, right? And you feel kind of cramped. No. Easy to disengage, easy access to the liner, right? It runs on bearings, plenty smooth, very snappy, that click, snap, right? A lot of what I enjoy with this is kind of what I enjoy about like the the whippersnapper from Olamic Cutlery. I mean, it's a bigger knife, but it's nice that it has all of those elements, and it's not a massive knife, right? It doesn't require, you know, the knife it being gigantic to actually be able to manipulate it. So this is cool. Fidget factor, absolutely there. Very easy to manipulate. How about carry profile? So thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. You can see this is quite a bit thinner, actually, than the Para 3. So that's great. Let's do height and length up against two knives that have awkward carry profiles that nobody ever seems to complain about. The PM2 and Para 3, substantially shorter and nowhere near as tall. This is just going to be not going to be a cumbersome object in the pocket. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside here, the internals. You can pick up my flashlight down in the description. We do have nested liners. They're not milled, but I don't really see a purpose for them to be milled. There's just not a lot of material here. It's not a heavy object, right? Let's do blade stock thickness on this guy. I'm sure it's going to come in very thin on the spine. Yeah, very thin, absolutely. So there's just not a lot of material here to worry about, you know, whether or not there needs to be like milling or anything. Weight, I'm gonna guess 2.5 ounces. Yeah, less than that, 2.2 ounces, which is under the 4 ounce mark. It's on that ounce and inch line, right? So, you know, people who are nitpicky about that, yeah, this is gonna work. If you've been carrying the Para 3 lightweight and Benchmade bug out, right? If those are your more your style, or you just like smaller, lighter weight knives, yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. You're also not gonna have a problem with it if you like to carry bigger knives or you wear jeans on a regular basis, right? It doesn't matter what kind of pants you're wearing. If you're wearing light pant material, right? Athletic shorts, skinny jeans, you're wearing heavy duty pant material, yeah, this is just gonna be easy to carry. The carry profile is great. It's not thick, it's not tall, it's not long. It's just gonna be easy to carry. It's gonna be a very preferable EDC size knife, so I don't have an issue with any of that. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check, get out my tools. As usual, my tools are very recommendable, and I've got some inexpensive options you can check out right here, and then I've got some more expensive options if you want to. All listed right down in the description. I'm gonna guess the pivot is T8. Yeah, pivot is T8, and I'm not gonna check the body screws because I know that those are T6. You guys know how I feel about T6. I don't like T6, I wish everything was T8, but there's only a couple of screws on each side, so that's fine, minimal hardware. Just be careful if you're gonna take it apart. T6 screws are not a deal breaker. It's just a preference thing for me. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the anatomy. First off, I wanna say, you guys have heard me say this before, I really like jade. I don't know what my deal is with this translucent ghost G10 or jade, right? Or pond, whatever you wanna call it. I just like it. What I really like is the contrast with the red here. We've got, I'm gonna assume this is an aluminum pivot collar that's been anodized red, and then I'm guessing the thumb studs are steel and probably coated in something that's aluminum and can be anodized. I have no idea. It's probably the same way that Benchmade does it. I like the contrast. If you don't like that, you know, you can pick, I think there's red G10, and maybe they have a different color of pivot collar, and then they have black also, probably with silver, I would guess, right? So there's some interesting color combinations. I've not actually seen jade with red before, and if you were to tell me like, yeah, it's Ghost G10, but it's got some red on it, I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, that sounds kind of weird, but you know, it's actually pretty cool. I like how this looks. This is really nice. The corners, everything have been nicely knocked down. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. Nicely knocked down on the corners, no issue right there. And you know, considering you can only get a 2-finger grip on this guy, it is very secure. You're plenty locked in. I'm not really feeling like I'm gonna drop it. There is a light peel ply texturing going on right here. Jimping extends out to exactly where I would want to put my finger. This area right here, you can kind of choke up, right? There is enough room to get your finger. Just be careful, right? Because you're going to be running your finger up against the edge. This isn't a knife that I feel like I would take out and use for hard use, though. I mean, I feel like that's going to be obvious, right? So, you know, question, even though it's not a true forward choil, right? Or it's not as roomy as on some larger knives. Exactly how much pressure am I planning to put on this blade? Exactly, you know, in what circumstances would I want to move my finger up there? And the only, I mean, if I'm doing some light, like if I'm trying to like, you know, shave wood or something, create some kindling for a fire, yeah, I'd be comfortable. I don't have an issue with that. And when I am choked up here, you can almost get it's like 3.5 fingers, right? But it is comfortable. There are no hot spots. The pocket clip is better than what I normally see on CJRB knives. Some of the old CJRBs have this really aggressive dip, and it created this, it didn't have the ramp right. This ramp is going to be much more accepting to different sizes, different seam sizes of pockets, so it's not going to fight you. The old ones kind of dipped and then came up and they went straight, and it was a hot spot, and it was an issue with some pockets. Not this guy. The pocket clip's going to be fine. I can't really, I mean, no, there's nothing to complain about ergonomically on this knife other than I just can't get my fingers all on there, but that's fine because it's a shorter knife. It says CJRB. This is a sheep's footy / reverse tanto style blade, whatever. We've got a flat that runs out about, what are we going to call that, 80% the length of the blade, and then plenty of room to drop down to a very, very thin cutting edge. This is definitely going to be a very satisfying little performance slicer. You can, you know, because of the length, you can sort of pinch it like this and get your index finger up here, and you can do some draw cutty sort of things with the knife. That's nice. That's another benefit of a really short knife, is that if you do like to kind of use your finger to guide the blade and do more precision work or precision cuts, then you can do that. It's something that I should point out more often on smaller knives, but because of how this is shaped and I, you know, looking at it and realizing all these little teeny tiny things that I appreciate, I found that I was wanting to put my finger up here, and when I did, it was nice, you know. You do have a tip up here that's going to be plenty good for sort of digging into packages, right? Enough material out here that I'm not going to be too afraid of obviously don't take this knife and jam it into a piece of wood and start prying with it, right? It's not the right size, geometry, it's not the right style of knife for that. But for your everyday, your normal everyday tasks, right? You're cutting open letters and envelopes and boxes and doing some, you know, cutting up some rope or whatever, little things like that. Yeah, it's going to be just fine. And there's some belly there, so you're going to be able to do your slicing tasks. Satin finished blade. So you can see up here, this isn't knocked down enough to where, you know, it's not going to shave off your fingernails, but it's really not that big of a deal. Same with over here, right? I like CJRB's tumbling. I would have liked to see this knife in a tumbled finish. I don't know, maybe they'll do that down the road, but it's fine the way that it is. As is per usual, you know, I don't mind when the designer puts their name on one side, and I don't mind seeing the steel stamp, but the steel stamp, right? But when you see like the serial number and it says China, I don't like to see that stuff on there, but everything else is fine, and that's just kind of a preference thing with me, so whatever. The backspacer's great. It's also the JG10, and then they have, she has opted to, you know, have the lanyard bar back here, which is totally out of the way. They didn't have to, you know, be like, where are we going to put the clip now? Because we've got this huge hole for the lanyard that people aren't using, right? It's back here for people who are going to use it, right? If you want to attach a lanyard to it. But it allowed them to, it allowed her to place the pocket clip in an optimal position, so that's great. I don't have an issue with that. Fit and finish all the way around, by the way. Everything's lining up great. Everything looks good. It's what you can expect from CJRB. The pocket clip screws are recessed, which is awesome. So the screws, as you slip this over your pants pocket, are not going to fight that seam. Really, in and out of the pocket, it's a breeze. I can do it with one hand, which is generally, you know, how I measure. Is it, you know, is a knife you know, easy in and out of the pocket? That's how I measure it. It should be able to slip over a seam no matter how thick it is, right? It should be able to press easily all the way to the peak of where the pocket clip sort of rounds out. And then I should be able to pull it back out of the pocket with one hand and manipulate with one. It does all those things, right? No problem whatsoever. The back, you know, this side, the non-show side of the pivot is just, you know, decorative. It's just domed and polished. Looks nice, right? The liner lock here, like I said, very easy to engage. There's plenty of room to get in there and engage it. And I do like that it's polished. The contrast between like the polished hardware, the polished clip, the polished liner, contrasting with the jade and the red, right, and the blade. It just really looks nice. There's no lock stick or anything like that. The knife is locking up at about 50%, which is what I'd expect considering how thin the blade stock and liner is. The blade is also perfectly centered. There's no detent lash, and there's no blade play, which is also really satisfying, you know, on a little tiny knife. Stop pins back here. There's no shouldering. I'm not going to say it absolutely needs it, right? It locks up solid. There's no up and down play or anything like that. This is great. Little nitpicks, outside of the typical stuff that I complain about. The T6 screws, okay. CJRB loves to put serial numbers and made in China on everything, this big paragraph, okay, not a big deal. It's a satin finish, so it's a little bit kind of sharp up there in the corner. Again, not a big deal. Three-finger position's not something that I appreciate or that I look for. That's because I live in Kansas and I can carry a larger knife and I want the knife to fill out my hand, right? But that's just me. That's a preference thing. The best, the best things about this knife are the fact that it does lock you in really, really well, considering it's so small. It is very easy to manipulate with one hand, and it's awesome that it's a front flipper, and it's so clicky. I just like that. It's so just that snap off the front flipper is just really great. Easy to carry for everybody. It solves a lot of legality issues for people who can't carry knives, because of blade length or whatever. But the biggest parts here beyond that are the fact that it is using, we've got a CJRB knife using the new AR RPM 9 powder formed steel, which is going to be very similar in performance or similar in composition to 9CR 18MLV, except it's powder form, so even particle distribution, right? That's great. Really, really great. Best part, the knife comes in on CJRB's website, which is where you can get this, for 45 bucks. Yeah. Can I recommend this knife? Yeah. Yeah, go buy one. This is cool. I mean, I think a lot of people would really, really appreciate this thing. This is one of the most impressive small budget knives that are out there. And, the combination of the the different means of deployment, the snappiness and the front flipper. I mean, yeah, this checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people. This is a great knife, and it's going to be performance oriented too. I hope we see this at retailers soon. At the time of this recording, I don't think you can pick this up on retailer sites, but you can pick it up on the CJRB or Artisan Cutlery website. I don't know. I think it's actually the CJRB website, and they have it listed for 45 bucks in multiple colors. So, yeah. Highly, highly recommendable. This is really, really cool. This is definitely one of the cooler little budget knives that I've handled this year. And honestly, it's one of the cooler, small budget knives that I've ever handled. One of the coolest, I guess, so I should say that. I like this a lot. Seriously, I think you guys should check this out, pick it up. Follow her on Instagram, and check out her YouTube channel as well. I think that's going to be pretty much it today, guys. Whoops, missed that one there. Go ahead and lay that back out here. Go ahead and lay my card out. I will list CJRB knives in general so you can see what they've got available at the retailers that I'm, linked up with. So check those links down below. But yeah, and thank you so much to Artisan Cutlery / CJRB for sending this guy in for review. That's going to be pretty much it today, guys. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.